Hi everybody, this is Mulenga and welcome back to my channel. Recently, I had a task that I needed to perform, but I kept procrastinating. And even though there was a sense of agency to getting it done, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And then after a bit of introspection, or a lot of introspection, I understood why. It was the fear of failure. This task that I needed to do, I had done many times and without much success, or at least not the level of success that I'd hoped for. And so, even though I hadn't acknowledged it, in my conscious mind, in my subconscious, I was fearful and didn't want to try this again. But I read a story. First of all, I heard about this lady called Florence Chadwick. It was a female American swimmer back in the 1950s. So she attempted to cross, I think it was the Catalina Channel, and it was about 21 miles. And for us who use kilometers, that would be over maybe 41 or 42 kilometers, but around there. And on the day that that attempt was to take place, it was foggy and the weather wasn't the greatest. But nonetheless, she decided to carry on, and she had swum for about 15 hours and 55 minutes, or at least according to the account that I read, when, because of the harsh conditions, she eventually told her support team who were in the boat next to her to just pull her up. She just felt she couldn't carry on anymore. Anyway, fast forward, she gets to the shore, and the fog lifted, because when she was swimming, there was fog and she couldn't see the shoreline. And she found out that she was only a mile away from reaching land. So imagine having swum in tough conditions for 15 hours, 55 minutes. And then when there's only a mile left of that 21 mile distance, she gave up. And later when she was interviewed, she told a reporter, she said, I'm not trying to give excuses, but if I'd seen the shore, if I'd seen the land, I would have pushed myself, and I would have, finished the race. And when I heard this story, it was in the context that sometimes we give up just when we're almost there. And, that's how I saw it. And it's a very good lesson as well. But when I read on this story, I found out that there was more, because 2 months later, she decided to attempt, that feat again, to be the first female to swim that 21-mile distance of the Catalina Channel. And guess what? She succeeded, and she did it in 13 hours, just over 13 hours. 2 hours ahead of of the last time she had tried it. But what's more is that she actually broke a world, a record, not a world, a record that had stood for swimming that distance, right? That had been there for 27 years. When this woman decided to get up from her failure, from what seemed like an embarrassment even, right? And decided to just try again. She succeeded and did it in better time, and even beat a record that had been standing there for 27 years. What's more, she did this even 2 more times, because now she is proficient. So I'm speaking to the person who, you tried to do something, whether it was business, it was a book, it was a job, or something that you did not succeed. And because of that failure, whether it was once or more than once, you're holding yourself back from trying again. But this story that I shared, let it just encourage you that you can fail the first time, and you can do so embarrassing, because I'm sure people were must have said, look, you are only a mile away, why did you give up? And I suppose for all of us, what she said was, if I'd only seen the shore, if I'd only seen the land. There are also times where I feel, Lord, if you could just tell me the day of the breakthrough, I'll be able to endure. But the fact is, there are certain things that we actually don't know the day when it will happen. But if you feel that God has placed it into your heart, just keep trying. Tomorrow or today could just be the day when you make it and break some records. So I hope you're encouraged, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.